Tonight, another Brexit battle as the Prime Minister seeks the backing of business for her plan to leave the EU. The Scottish Brexit Secretary says it's so bad for Scotland, it's an emergency to stop it. Also tonight, maternity and childcare services are being reintroduced at Dr Gray's Hospital in Elgin, but campaigners say more must be done.
They still need to explain what they're doing to provide a sustainable service going forward.
In sports, Alex McLeish says his players are confident of victory ahead of their crucial Nations League game against Israel. And the dance classes that are helping people who are living with Parkinson's disease. Good evening, I'm Ben Phillip and this is the STV News at 6, live from Aberdeen. With speculation over her future intensifying, the Prime Minister has launched a fresh defence of her draft Brexit withdrawal agreement. Theresa May told business leaders her plan was the best for jobs across the country. Here, the First Minister also spoke to businesses about Brexit. She told a conference in Dundee she believes a majority of MPs would back remaining in the single market and customs union. Here's our political correspondent, Ewan Petrie. Now, the Scottish Government's Brexit Minister Mike Russell says Theresa May's draft agreement on leaving the EU is so bad for Scotland it's an emergency to stop it. But the Scottish Secretary, David Mundell, says that means the SNP is backing a no-deal Brexit. The two governments met at a joint ministerial council at Westminster today, and our Holyrood editor Colin Mackay was there. Any meetings of the minds today, Colin? Colin, thank you. Well, the Prime Minister faced a gruelling time in the Commons trying to sell her draft Brexit agreement last week. The big question over the last few days has, of course, been whether Theresa May can survive. To Harry Smith in Downing Street now. Harry, not yet enough Conservative MPs to trigger an election for Tory party leader. Harry at Downing Street, thank you. Now, NHS Grampian has set out what it describes as a significant boost to obstetric services in Moray after unveiling a raft of measures for the care of mothers and children, including the reopening of the area's special care baby unit. But campaigners say more must be done to prevent many mothers still having to travel 100 miles to give birth in Aberdeen or Inverness. Well, with more on this, we can go live to Nicola McCalley at Dr Gray's Hospital in Elgin. Nicola, thank you. Well, sport and weather is still to come on the programme, but now time for more local news. I'll have the stories for the north, and in Dundee, it's Lynn Rankin. Police have made a fresh appeal for information to trace two teenagers missing from Aberdeen. There's no link between the two, but they say they're worried about both. Colin White reports. The Scottish Government has confirmed an independent external inquiry will be held into complaints of bullying of hundreds of health staff in NHS Highlands. Since whistleblowers made the claims against senior management 2 months ago, employees and former colleagues have alleged bullying dating back a decade. Unions and NHS Highlands have welcomed the progress. And finally, in the north, the graphic aftermath of a car crash involving teenagers is being used to help cut road deaths and injuries on Scotland's roads. Thousands of students will see the Safe Drive Stay Alive presentation in Aberdeen. Ross Govins has the details. Well, those were your local stories in the north and east. If you've got a story you think we should know about or should be covering on our programme, you can contact us through our Facebook or Twitter pages. But for all your news on demand, you can download the STV News app. Now, dance classes are nothing new, but for some people they can provide respite from life-changing conditions. Dance for Parkinson's are running classes to help people who live with the disease, as Hayley Boma now reports. Well, that takes us on to the sports with Chris Harvey. Now here's Sean with a look at the weather forecast. Well, that's all we have time for this evening. I'll be back with the late news around 11:30 after Scotland Tonight. From everyone here, have a very good evening.
For news and more 24 hours a day, download the STV News app.